excited because today we are making my own brownie recipe. I have tested this, I think at least 8 times, and I'm just thrilled that I feel like it's perfected. They're very, very chewy brownies, which if you're a cake brownie person, you just might want to exit. You're not really gonna love it. These are for the people who make box brownies and like to way undercook them, so they taste chewy and delicious. That's what we're making here, except ourselves, and it takes a little bit longer, but not that much longer, and I would say they're significantly better. So we're gonna jump into it. If you hear weird noises in the background, it's my dogs fighting each other, living their best life. Here's my recipe. Here's a little rundown. These are my notes. I'm a very organized person. Okay, so we're using 8 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. Each one of these is 4 ounces, so we're gonna melt one, and then the other we're just gonna chop up, and they're gonna go inside in chunks, so you get those little melty pockets of goodness. And then, so we have 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 10 tablespoons of butter. The butter is gonna be melted and very, very hot. Adding the vegetable oil instead of all butter makes the inside chewy and the top crispy. And then the hot butter is also part of what makes the top crackly. So that's what we're going for here. 2 eggs, 2.5 teaspoons of vanilla. That's really flexible. Add how much you want. I like a heavy vanilla. 3/4 cups of flour, 1/4 cup of cocoa. It's pretty unusual to do cocoa and chocolate, but we do what tastes best, not what's normal. And then 1.5 teaspoons of salt. You're gonna wanna preheat your oven to 350 degrees. I will be using, I don't know if this is an 8x8 or a 9x9. I don't think it matters, but I'll be using this pan because I can't find my real pan. I'm having a lot of feelings about that, but it's fine. I don't really know how you lose a pan, but I lost my 9x13 pan, my 8x8 pan, and oh, I used to have 2 8-inch round pans, you know, so you could make like a stacking cake. I don't know where those are either. I think I like make food in them and then take them to people's houses or something and leave them there and just never think about them again, so I forget to ask for them back. And I should just take them home, but I do not. And that's my life story. Okay, let's get started. So first we're going to, here's something I'm very passionate about. You mix brownies with a wooden spoon. You use a whisk, there's too much air in it, it becomes cakey. That's good news. You're gonna chop up both blocks of chocolate. One you're gonna end up melting down, and the other's gonna go on top. So you can keep them separate. I'm just gonna chop them up together, and then I'll put half in a bowl or something to save for later. I don't know what order these videos are gonna come out in, but tomorrow morning, Kurt and I are going to be, so tonight I'm gonna be making, I think, 8 different kinds of box brownies. And then Kurt and I are gonna be ranking the different brands, and I think it's gonna be so much fun. I'm really looking forward to it. But I'm going to put one of these brownies in the lineup and not tell Kurt, and I swear, if these brownies don't taste better than the box brownies, the only one I'm really doubting is the Ghirardelli box brownies, because those are very good. But I'm gonna be pretty upset if these don't rank pretty high. So we'll see. When this video comes out, I'll probably be posting that video like the same week. So you probably won't have to wait too long in suspense. Unless I procrastinate, therefore, it'll happen when it happens. Okay, so I've chopped it up. They're just kind of loose chunks. Some are bigger, some are smaller. It doesn't matter, I don't care. Half is gonna go in one bowl. Half is gonna go in the other. I have a real fear sometimes that I'm gonna spill something like this on the ground, and then my dog's gonna eat it and die. And I understand that's a little bit irrational, except I do a lot of stuff. And I don't really, you know, sometimes I go a little bit wild. I'm following my recipe exactly, by the way, because I tend to go rogue and that doesn't help us learn anything. So we are following the directions. Okay, let's go ahead and get this one melted. It doesn't really have to be melted all the way, just put it in the microwave for 30 seconds on half power, stir, 30 seconds half power, stir. Once it's at least mostly melted, you're good to go. Oh, actually, before I do that, what order I don't want to go into? Before I do that, I need to melt my butter, huh? Okay, this is 8 tablespoons. I'm doing 10. Okay, I don't need this one. 8 plus 2 is 10. I'm gonna melt this butter in here first. When you melt your butter, I'm telling you, you want it to be like boiling hot, suspiciously hot when you take it out of the microwave and you're like, did I do something bad? That's what you're going for here. That's what makes it crackly on the top and it helps the soft and gooiness. It's a crucial step. I don't know why it happens, it just does. Your brownies will still taste good if you don't do it, and they might even look good, but it's not a guarantee. And considering that I've tested it quite a few times, you might as well just listen to me and save yourself the trouble. In other exciting news, I got this super cute apron. It goes like crosses in the back. And I got it because the people at Bon Appetit, when they make videos and stuff, they wear this apron and it looks just like this. Except I looked it up online and it was $150. And I'm not gonna pay $150 for an apron when the point of the apron is to get it dirty. But some girl posted on TikTok that she found these and they're $20 at World Market. So I plan on buying them in a myriad of different colors. But I'm just really excited about it. It makes me feel very professional. I really want to channel my inner Claire. I have her cookbook sitting over there because she's really my spirit person. I guess she's more my spirit cooking gal. Okay, so our butter is melted and it's frothy on the top, which is the dairy that's separating, and that's what we're going for. So let's go ahead and melt this chocolate. Oh, first step, by the way, preheat your oven, grease your pan. I didn't grease my pan. Okay, we're gonna preheat our oven, grease our pan. We're gonna mix the butter, oil, sugar, and the melted chocolate in here. Not a whisk, people. How much sugar? 1 1/4 cup. Let's go ahead and put that in the bowl quickly. This is a 1/2 cup. Half. One. Here's our 1/4. Proud of us for actually measuring everything. And frosting would be disappointing, but baking, you kind of have to do things according to the plan. Not all the time. Okay, our chocolate is melted. Yum, yum, yum. So we're gonna dump this in here. We have our, oh, we still have to add our oil. We're gonna go ahead and dump this in here. We'll add our oil, and then we're going to mix it up. You wanna stir for about a minute until everything's fully incorporated, and you kinda want your sugar to dissolve a bit, but biggest thing with making these brownies is you're not over mixing. You don't wanna put air in here, you don't want it to get fluffy, which is like the opposite with everything else. When baking, you want to be fluffy and delicious. Not these, you want them to be fudgy. And I will continue to repeat that. Okay, so we need 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm using vegetable oil. You can pretty much use whatever you want, just don't use olive oil. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and stir. You know something that makes me very happy? So growing up, my mom had this set of these exact same bowls. And there's like a small, medium, and large one, and they're just perfect. They have a handle and a little spout, and they're really light. You can put them in the microwave, and they just do it for me. So when my gran passed away, I ended up with a bunch of her kitchen stuff, which seems very natural now, but at the time, like, I love to cook, but I didn't cook a ton. And now I have, my grandma and my mom bought like tons of the same kitchen stuff. So now I have pretty much all matching like baking and cooking stuff that I used growing up. And it just sparks a lot of joy for me. Okay, this is looking creamed together and delicious, so I think we're good to go. So now that we've added our butter, oil, sugar, and chocolate, hey, enough, that's enough. We're gonna go ahead and add our eggs and vanilla. So we're gonna use 2 eggs. Oh, 2 eggs and then 2 1/4 teaspoons of vanilla. Here's another brownie pet peeve. Occasionally, especially when people are making box brownies, I feel like you go too fast. And by people, I mean myself. I have no seen other people's, but I'm just talking about myself. The egg yolks, the egg whites don't get mixed all the way in just because they're so slimy and you're trying to go so fast because it's box brownies and all you want to do is lick the batter. But you can taste it and it tastes weird. It creates these little goopy things. So if anything, just go ahead and make sure your egg whites are mixed in well. We're not leaving anything unmixed. Okay, now we need our vanilla. 1, 2, and we're not gonna eyeball 1/4. Also, for 1 teaspoon, I usually just pour it in the cap. I don't even know if that's the correct measurement, but that's what I do if I'm not like doing something for long. I don't even know where the 1/4 teaspoon is. Is this a 1/4? Okay. I literally have 3 sets of the little tablespoons and teaspoons because I lose a bunch of them. Again, I don't know where these things go, but I lose them. And so now they're all just kind of mix matched. Is it mix matched or mismatched? Or both? Okay, that's mixed in. We're not over mixing. Then we're going to sift together the flour, cocoa, salt. Okay? So we're gonna sift it. I'm gonna put it all in the sifter together. We're gonna sift it in. Then we're going to fold the mixture in together. No chunks, people. There's cocoa in here from the last time I mixed something. I sifted something. We're gonna call that a good sign. How much flour? 3/4 of a cup. You are not good. Thought I was gonna have to clean something. Okay, we have I was supposed to sift it. Well, it's not getting sifted. You know what we'll do? We'll just pretend. We're just gonna sift the rest of it, I guess. Mighty everyone. Good to go, mostly. I said I was going to follow the instructions. I've already messed it up, but that's okay. Then 1/4 cup of cocoa, which seems like a ridiculous amount. 1/4 cup. And I'm using this coarse salt. You can use whatever you want, doesn't make a difference. And we're gonna put in 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Mounding. We're considering that a half. At this point, oh, I put it in the, so, very few things are getting sifted, but you should sift things so they're not chunky and they get mixed together well. What was I say? Not as ideal, I guess. Mostly your cocoa is important because it gets those little tiny chunks, and we don't want someone to get a bite of bitter cocoa. So maybe you do, but I do not. We gotta have Kurt baking high tomorrow. Okay, that looks great. Okay, we're going to fold, fold, fold. No aggressive stirring. We are patient people who can fold in dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. My favorite part of making brownies is licking the spoon. My mom, sister, and I, this is like our thing. We'd make box brownies and then we would sit there and lick the bowl in the spoon. And now my sister does it with my nieces and it sparks a considerable amount of joy for me. We're winning brownie awards, people. I need to submit this into some contests. Speaking of awards, my brother has this friend in Texas, and Kurt and I flew to Virginia to drive home with him when he was going to school in Virginia, and we road tripped as the three of us. It was an amazing trip. Definitely kind of a once in a lifetime thing to do with your brothers, and it was awesome. But we stopped in Texas to go visit his friend for lunch, and after lunch, I don't even remember what we had for lunch, but after lunch, we ate her award-winning pecan pie. It was the best pecan pie I have ever eaten in my entire life, by like a landslide. And I eat a lot of pecan pie because I really enjoy it, as everyone should. Oh, anyways, the point of that was she's won awards with this recipe, so of course she wouldn't give it to me, and I feel a little bitter about that. And maybe she wants to be on my YouTube channel with 40 subscribers, and then maybe she'll give us the recipe because it was so good. Okay, in hindsight, these chunks look a little big. We're gonna put them in there. And then you're just gonna fold in your chunks. We love to see it. Okay, once our chunks are fully incorporated, we're just gonna add it to our already greased pan, pop it in the oven. Usually in my oven, I cook it somewhere between 21 and 23 minutes. My oven, I swear, is colder than other ovens. So you might need yours a little bit less, maybe a little more. Who knows what you're going for? Like, don't do the toothpick method. It's gonna come out messy. Just look at the top. If the top is crusty, you're smelling brownies. Here's a pro tip. So a lot of baking, if you can smell it and you sit there and you're like, man, that smells really good, just wait like 5 minutes after that and it's probably done. Okay, our brownie mix looks absolutely delicious. I will be eating it. Maybe don't eat raw eggs if you don't want to. Man, it's very good. Let's go and scrape it in. Growing up, when my mom would ask me to scrape it in, I would leave as much in the bowl as possible without causing suspicion so I could eat it during the lick the bowl time. And don't forget, so like this is not like a cake that's gonna rise, so you want it to be pretty smooth on top. I feel a giant chunk of chocolate. You want it to be pretty smooth on top because it's not like it's gonna move around. So unless you're just gonna cut it up and serve it to people or eat it all yourself, you don't want it to look kind of weird, you know? Mine might look kind of weird anyway. There we go. That was a ton of chocolate, but I stand by that decision. Okay, we're putting it in the oven. I'll tell you how it goes. Okay, the brownies have come out of the oven and they've cooled down. Clearly, I'm touching the pan. And we're gonna give them a taste test. And I can tell you for a fact that I've already tasted them and they're absolutely delicious. And I love them so much. They are, quite frankly, the chewiest brownies you can ask for. You can see there's a little bit of melted chocolate from the chunks we put in. It's a crusty top, which is exactly what we're going for. Look at, it's so good. They're so good. And because I use the coarse salt, you kind of get salt at the end that is very, very pleasant. So I would really recommend that if you have it on hand. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. Let me know if you make these. I hope you do, and I hope you really enjoy them. Thanks for watching.